let's see, strategically, Iran, North Korea, we have an even bigger problem with their development of nuclear ability. And North Korea is a mess that's been growing since from the Clinton administration. There was a time, I thought back then, to shut that off. Maybe there was a time during the Bush administration, but it's gotten worse each administration. And today it's worse in North Korea than it was during Bush, and it's worse under Bush than it was under Clinton. So I don't hold out a lot of hope that we have the will to do what we need to do to end North Korea's nuclear endeavor. And they are, I believe, and they've proven to be a proliferator on top of it. Then with Iran, maybe the world could line up against Iran if they had the will, but I don't think they have the will. The Germans have told me that, like a member of the German Bundestag, in a room full of their peers and intellectuals will stand up and say, well, of course, a nuclear-powered Iran with an ability even to deliver a weapon is preferable to a military strike to take it out. Of course, they say, it's preferable. And I get up and say, they are going to drop one right in on Tel Aviv. Can't you hear him? He wants to annihilate the great Satan, the United States of America. History has taught us that tyrants will sometimes tell us what they're going to do. Why wouldn't you believe him? Well, that's just rhetoric. He doesn't really run the country anyway. And besides, other countries are going to become nuclear powered, so why would we decide that we want to just pick on Iran? And that's, of course, not a rational position. Then they go on and they say, you're thinking geopolitically. Thinking geopolitically leads to conflict. That's another German word. I think the Germans would become the new French. And my grandmother came from there. And I argue that Putin's thinking geopolitically, and he's making his moves. He went in and invaded Georgia, and he shut off the oil. He shut off the oil to Germany. They entered the natural gas to Germany in January. And the Germans say, well, that doesn't affect our foreign policy towards Russia because they only supply 25 to 35% of our natural gas. We have other alternatives. Well, some people got cold before they had figured out. So one of their alternatives is they're building a new pipeline to Russia to bring the gas directly into Germany, as opposed to having it go through the Ukraine where Putin can turn the valve down. So they just make themselves more dependent. I'm really worried about the mindset in Western Europe if they're not willing to defend their freedom. And they actually oppose us in defending our freedom. And I told them over there, whatever you think about us going into Iraq, we have achieved a definable victory there today. And the world is a safer place. And of course they sit there and cringe because it goes against the things they